Welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Offshore injury lawsuit. Workers on offshore drilling rigs, supply boats, and the various other vessels that work in an oil patch in the Gulf of Mexico and the coast of the Gulf states face some of the most hazardous workplace conditions. The risk of fires, falls, explosions, and exposure to hydrocarbons and other toxic substances make the various jobs in the offshore oil patch some of the most dangerous jobs in the offshore and maritime industry. If proper safety is not followed, thousands of workers' health and even lives can be put at risk. Unless the strictest of precautions are taken, accident can and will happen. When one of these accidents occurs, the consequences can include extremely serious injuries, long-term disabling damage, and even death. With the potential for such significant harm, an employer must make sure that all required safety measures are taken. Fortunately, the Jones Act and a general maritime law covers most of offshore workers injured in an offshore drilling industry. The Jones Act and general maritime law are special maritime laws that provide special protection and rights to injured workers that most land-based workers are not entitled to. These laws are unique and should only be handled by experienced maritime lawyers. The offshore drilling companies understand these laws and the unique liabilities that they have. Thus, they always hire lawyers that have extensive experience handling a Jones Act and maritime cases. If you are injured offshore in a drilling accident or while working in the Gulf of Mexico oil patch, you need to hire an experienced Jones Act and maritime lawyer as well. The lawyers at Simon and O'Rourke law firm PC have over 30 years of combined experience handling these types of cases and are ready to fight for you. Why offshore oil drilling injury victims should consult an attorney? In some instances, the employer and their insurance company may offer the injured worker a lump sum to cover some of the injured worker's expenses. When an offshore worker is faced with mounting medical bills and no income to cover them, even the smallest offer can feel that it is too much to pay up. However, most of these offers are just pennies on a dollar compared to the cost the injured offshore workers faces on the road to recovery. In these cases, a veteran offshore drilling accident injury attorney can help the injured worker cover expenses, recover compensation for lost income, lost future earnings, and more. Call Simon and O'Rourke law firm PC and we will advise you of your rights, assist you with obtaining the benefits that you are entitled to, assist you with getting the proper medical treatment that you require, and file a lawsuit on your behalf to obtain the greatest recovery that are entitled to. And then causes of offshore oil drilling accidents. With so many oil drilling injury accidents each year, it can be difficult to narrow down a root cause. However, studies have shown that most accidents fall into specific categories. Each of these categories can be used as a ground to file an offshore drilling accident injury lawsuit. These categories can include lack of proper safety equipment, Offshore oil rig workers count on their safety equipment to protect them from injury. When safety equipment is not maintained or replaced in a timely manner, that equipment can go from a safety measures to a safety hazard. When employers fail to provide workers with working safety equipment, they put those workers at an unnecessary risk. Lack of proper training or supervision. Offshore oil rig work requires skill, strength, and foresight. When employers fail to give workers adequate training on equipment, or when they fail to provide adequate supervision to ensure the workers' safety, they place everyone involved in a dangerous position. Poorly maintained equipment. Offshore oil rig requires lots of moving parts, lots of maintenance, and lots of efforts to maintain a specific level of production. When something breaks, it cannot only stop the oil from flowing, it can also cause serious injuries to workers near the malfunctioning part. Worker fatigue. Oil rig work takes its toll on workers, both physically and mentally. They must work hard for long hours under stressful conditions. When workers are pushed past their limits, they can make mistakes. In a setting as hazardous as an offshore oil rig, any mistake can have tragic consequences. A knowledgeable offshore oil rig injury lawyer can investigate these accidents, determine who is at fault, and pursue legal action to get compensation for accident victims. For instance, in the event of the failure of a critical piece of safety equipment, these investigations can determine if the equipment was inherently defective or if the employer was failed to maintain the repair or placement schedule for that equipment. The next types of offshore oil rig accident injuries. The dangers inherent in working on an offshore oil rig are almost too numerous to list. Workers face the risk of a serious injury every single day. These injuries can include skull fractures, traumatic brain injuries or TBI, head and neck injuries, facial disfigurement, hearing impairment, vision impairment, jaw injuries and teeth knockout, back pain, spinal damage or paralysis, rib fractures, internal organ damage, breathing problems, dismemberment, losing an arm or leg, fractured and leg torn ligaments. Other types of injuries can include burns, lacerations, abrasions, electrocutions, illness from exposure to toxic substances, mental and emotional pain. For example, like a survivor guilt, post-traumatic stress disorder, exhaustion, and these injuries can be costly in a number of ways. Workers injured in an offshore drilling accident may face the high cost of recovery, including ambulance transport by boat or helicopter, emergency room care, imaging tests or x-rays like MRIs, surgical procedures, hospital stays, pain management, and much more. The expenses do not end when the accident victim leaves the hospital. Some other expenses during the recovery process can include physical therapy, physician office visits, prescription medications, assistive equipment, and much more. Get the help you need with Simon & Ulrich. The Simon & Ulrich law firm has over 30 years of experience handling offshore oil drilling injury lawsuits. We understand the complexities of the law and it relates to injuries suffered on an offshore drilling rigs and other vessels in the Gulf of Mexico oil patch. We also have the resources to stand up to the insurance companies and their high-priced attorneys. We work hard to ensure that our clients get as much as compensation for the injuries as the law allows. I think that's all guys information that I can share to you. Thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to give a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Bye bye, see you in another video.